friends, it's Gwen and today we're talking budget craft supplies. I have ducked down to my local Kmart store and I've grabbed a couple of things and I want to try and make a layout using just these budget supplies. So I thought first up I would unbox them quickly and then you can see what's included and then we'll get making. So I did just stick with one collection and this one is called Bloom. So I got the washi tapes. These ones are $5.50 and I believe there's 10 in here. Yeah, so a 10 pack of washi tape for $5.50. I love the mix of geometrics and florals in this. So you've got this little gingham pattern and then there's some larger florals and some smaller floral patterns. There's also a really cute butterfly one. I really enjoy this one. That's super pretty. And there was this one as well that says in love with or with love, just with love. Quality, I did have a little look at the quality. It seems quite good. It seems a little bit similar to the quality in the Shein unboxing that I did recently. So super happy with that. This one even has some gold foiling, which is really nice. I really like that. It's actually like a rose gold. It's really pretty. So definitely be using those. I also got the paper stack. So the paper stack is $4 and you get 30 sheets. It is a true 6x6, which I'm very happy about. So it says 15.5 centimeters square. So that means it is true 6x6. And there's some really pretty patterns in here. So there's some geometrics, as I mentioned before. Then there's some of those floral prints. I did like, there was one here. I do like this one as a background. This one's really pretty. I like the green too. And there was one, this one, look at this. So that's gold foil. Hope you can see the shimmer on that. That's really pretty. It's like a blush pink too. It's really nice. I like this one. And these watercolor butterflies. How pretty are those? There was also this more generic kind of backgroundy spot, which is lovely. This is another geometric, not geometric. What am I saying? Gold foil. This is another gold foil one. Really, really pretty. I like this one. I thought that was very, I don't know, just like spring bloom. It's a really pretty shade of blue too. It's like that, I don't know what it's called, but it's, yeah, it's lovely. And I really like this one too. It's more vintage sort of feel to it. So really enjoying those. I also got the die cuts. I have actually opened these and had a little bit of a sticky beak. I couldn't wait to see what was included. I wanted to see too what kind of size they were, and they are, I'm going to say they are a little large. So there's that, but we'll work around that. They did have these background sort of floral clusters, which I quite like, but they are quite big. This one is like 6 inches. It's almost the same size as the paper pad. It is quite big. There was, what else was there? These, I'm very proud of me. I liked that. I liked this heart shape icon. There's 2, I think, of every element. So you've got a couple of choices. This one's cute, it says love. And that to me went well with this one here. I liked it with that one. And there was that other, this is definitely the same color as that. Like, look at that. I think that's a really pretty kind of mix. So I was kind of thinking maybe something along those lines, perhaps for the layout. We will see. We will see. This one says memories. I'm not sure I like this wide white section that's around the edge. It is quite large and I think I might end up fussy cutting that off. Some of these I'm not so sure about, like that one. But all in all, I think they're quite pretty and I do like the softer tones. That's another one of those really big ones. There's this one that says thank you, which could be nice for the front of a card. But then there were a couple of smaller flowers which I really enjoyed too, and I really like this shade of blue. So this was the blue that kind of matched that washi tape. So I am enjoying that. And then there was some more butterflies and then more kind of floral elements. They did have quite a few to choose from. There was like a birthday party kind of themed one. I want to say there was a wedding kind of themed one as well. This one seemed to me to be the most generic and sort of the one that was the most my style. So it had the pastel colors, lots of florals, which I love. And I just felt that they sort of fitted me the best. Now, I didn't tell you how much the ephemera was. 1 second. $3. So all of these ephemera pieces for $3. So I'm kind of thinking, even if I don't end up using them all, there are quite a few in here that I really do enjoy. So pretty good value. See, there's another one that's in that same tone. I think we might be running with that. And then just a couple of leaves. These are quite cute. It could go with lots of florals. And then, yeah, so that's the die cuts. I did also get the sticker book. The sticker book is $3 and it has gold foil elements as well as stickers. I'm not expecting these to be super thick. In fact, the paper itself is quite thin and flimsy. These to me are not like the super best quality, but I guess for the price, I'm going to, I think my workaround for this is to actually stick these on top of cardstock and then fussy cut them out. And I think they'll just feel a little bit more substantial if I do that. But we will see when we get there. This was pretty. I liked the butterflies. Like there were some elements in there that I really did like, which is why I got it too. Like I like these circle elements. I like the hearts. I liked the butterflies. There was also this alpha, which is quite cute. So, and I think for $3, you know, it's a pretty good deal. The other and last thing that I got, because I thought, well, I'm going to try and use just these things. I think I may end up adding some alphas. I may end up adding a cut file. We will see. But the main focus I did want to have was on these really inexpensive products. So I did also get the textured cardstock pack. This one is the pastel version. This one is $16. And it is a collection of pastel printed cardstocks. It reminds me very much of the American Crafts cardstock. It probably isn't exactly the same, and I actually haven't cut it yet. So that will be the true test when you go to cut it, if it has a lot of that feathered edging and stuff. So anyway, we will see. So this is the pastels. Aren't they pretty though? Lots of those pretty matching tones, which I did really quite like. So I definitely am going with something that's going to be either the pinks or blues or a combination of both. There are a few brighter ones, so we'll use those on other projects, but that's a look at the cardstock pack. Lots and lots and lots. All this is called the pastel. I believe it's the pastel version. So that's all the goodies I've got. We are going to jump straight on in and get creating. Okay, so I have an idea of what I would like to do, and I'm actually revisiting a technique I shared in a video I created to use up washi tape. Loved how it turned out, so I thought why not revisit that one and use these Kmart supplies to do it. The first time I did this technique, I was lucky enough to have the washi be wide enough to cover the full tab element. This washi is a little bit thinner, so it does not cover it entirely. And I did have a play with maybe doing it as layers, having the top part white, the bottom part white, and I've gone with this. I'm going to just have the strip of washi across the top part of the tab, and in a moment here, when you see me attach it to my layout, I actually add stitching, and I'm going to add my stitching along the line where the washi ends and the white cardstock of the tab punch shows through. So it does come together. I don't mind the look. I think it's better if the washi is wide enough to cover the full tab punch, but this totally works. I have decided to go with the combination of that really pretty shade of pink and then mixing that with the blue. I did have a look through the elements and I was very concerned that I wouldn't have enough choice if I only stuck to one color tone. Like originally I was just going to do the pink, but I felt like there wasn't enough choice and variety in the ephemera pack to support that. So I did need to have a couple of colors going on, and I really do like this combo. I had a play around with the background as well. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to have a pink frame on the outer edge there. This is like a dusty gray. It's a very odd color. It's very cool gray, and I do like how it's a little bit more substantial. With the colors being the pastels that they are, I was concerned that it might look a little bit wishy-washy. So I do like that there's something a little bit bolder on my layout, and I am going to use that same colored cardstock to back my photo. I did also want to be sure to include a lot of the footage for this process here. It is a little bit tricky in that you have to work from the bottom layer of the tabs up to the top layer of the tabs because I'm adding the stitching on each row. So you don't have to add the stitching. I just really like that as a detail. You could also do it with a pen, like with a gel pen, and do like faux stitching, but it's super pretty how it turns out. And once I've got all of my elements in place, I do lift them up a bit and it kind of creates a really pretty textured element for the page. I have now also added my stitched frame around the edge like I do for a lot of my layouts, and I have mounted my photo. This is a photo of me, and I wanted to add an extra layer from the paper pad. So I haven't used any of the paper pad yet, so I want to include that, and I'm going to do that with my photo mat. I did audition the pink and the blue, decided to go with the blue, and I have to say, unfortunately, the pattern paper did behave in a way that I was expecting. I was being super careful, but as I pulled the blade through the paper, it did have this like pilling that happens. I've seen it before. It's nothing to do with my trimmer. My blade is sharp. It is actually the quality of the paper. I was able to neaten up that edge with my guillotine trimmer. So if you have a guillotine trimmer, I would 100% recommend you use that. If you have a trimmer like mine, then you are going to have to be super, super careful. With that all sorted, I can move on to the embellishments, and I am going to use this tab that says memories. I did mention in the unboxing about that white border, and I have decided to cut it off completely. I did start to just make it smaller with my fussy cutting scissors there, but then as I was going, I felt that it did need to be fully removed, so I am going to do that. I'm also going to make this banner part smaller. When I place it down here in a moment, it just seemed a little long for me, so I do actually go and adjust that to make it ever so slightly shorter. I'm also going to have a look at what other embellishments I want to use. I know my choices are limited here with the supplies that I have, so I want to make sure that I have a bit more of a plan moving through the layout than I normally would. If I was creating with American crafts brands where those collections include so many supplies, I probably wouldn't do it this way. But I didn't want to get myself into a corner. I didn't want to get halfway through the layout and find that I didn't have enough blue elements, or I didn't have enough pink elements, or I was short on florals or whatever. I wanted to have a bit of a clearer idea of where the layout was going before I even got started. I do end up using quite a few stickers from the sticker book, and all of them I do add to the cardstock first and then fussy cut them out. I just found that they felt a little bit better. The quality felt better when I had attached it to the cardstock. Just a personal thing. I do end up too with both of the floral elements that I have there. I end up using both, and I do end up trimming them quite heavily. I'm trying really hard to make them feel like they're not exactly the same element replicated. So I'm going to try and trick the eye and make the embellishment cluster on the left there a lot more substantial than the cluster on the right. I've also been really sneaky and actually cut away quite a lot of the element that was under the photo to create a third embellishment cluster. So yes, it's two of the ephemera pieces. One of them I've left quite large and quite full. The other one I have essentially cut in half to create two clusters. This then helps me make a visual triangle, and I'm going to make that even easier for the eye to sort of tell by including the 3 points in that shade of blue. I am going to finish off the layout by adding some enamel dots from my stash. I also want to include here some close-up images for you so that you can see all the details and those layered elements that I have included. Overall, I feel the supplies are okay, probably better for someone who is a beginner and someone who's maybe on a budget, who doesn't know if they'll enjoy scrapbooking as much as I know I enjoy scrapbooking. So there's that. The washi tape was quite good. I feel like the downside is A, the quality of the paper, and B, the amount of supporting embellishments that you're going to have to work with. So they're probably the two biggest negatives. The washi tape was great. The cardstock quality was great. Can you create with Kmart supplies? Absolutely you can. I love how this turned out. Ultimately though, with a more designer brand, you're not just paying for better quality products, you're also paying for better quality design. And that can ultimately help you make better scrapbook pages. If you are looking for ways to save money in your scrapbooking, there are a bunch of better ways to do that. I shared a bunch of them in this video right here, so be sure to check it out. Thanks for being here, my creative friends. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye!